I think that it's a prerogative rate. You get it? When you say it's prerogative, it is powerful. It can override a number of things. So whatever the conversation is, he can be talking and point of information and any other thing can be working. But once somebody raises point of order, any other conversation has to stop. You understand? So when I leave here, you're having a conversation and then somebody raises a point of order and the speaker doesn't mind, then you know that your speaker is a mafia. You get it? So a point of order is a prerogative rate. Is meant to, it's an enforcer. So it is meant to stop any other thing to ensure that a particular thing is done right before the conversation will go on. Please, are we on a good page? Right, so please, thank you very much. Then I think one other thing is also engagement, how to deal with management. I think more often than not, sure, Madam Speaker, or better, so why don't you get a chair and come and sit by me? You are very elegant too. I mean, Charlie, please come and sit down. Oh, I'm lying. Is Madam Speaker not elegant? Yes. So, engagement. When I joined Nooks fresh, and I have to say, I am like the second generation of student leaders that joined Nooks, because for the first time, my seniors joined Nooks. Raymond Frimpong, who even ran for Nooks president, it was subsequently that some of us joined. So we were very young in Nooks when we joined, and I think that you will also be doing marvelously well soon. But let's talk about engagement with management. So when we joined Nooks, and prior to that, dealing with management is always difficult for student leaders, right? The day you win your elections, the first comment you hear is that, oh, I'm lying. So which money are we going to share? The very people who says that they are the same people who accuse you that you are chopping the money. You get it? Meanwhile, that's it. So there's this line that we used to use in Nooks. We say that emancipation of student leadership through the spirit of dialogue and non-violence, right? What it means is that whatever you can achieve it without having to fight for it using violence. Please, are you following? Whatever you can achieve it without having to use violence. And I have examples to share. More often than not, we student leaders are meant to believe that fighting management is the only way to achieve results. That shows that you are hard and you are getting results. Am I lying? Your colleagues think that you have to go, hey, Choboy, no, we don't understand. I don't think that gives you results. You need to understand that management is a stakeholder and your people need results from you. So if you go Takashi and they don't give you, you have failed. You need to learn how to engage. When I was a local Nooks president, my president at the time was one Chris Amponsasaki. Very excellent young man. But I don't know how I do it. Ordinarily, General Assembly is supposed to pass funds before they make the money available to you. But management gives me money directly without even going through General Assembly. They only tell me that go and get the job done when you come and account for the money. And that is based on relationship. You need to position yourself that people will have confidence in you. And the question is, what do people know about you? Let's situate it within the General Assembly. In the General Assembly, do you realize that there's somebody who anytime he rises, everybody's turning to see or hear what the person is about to say? Oh, I'm lying. There's somebody here. Anytime we have General Assembly and the person rises to talk, everybody will turn and look at the person. Or when the conversation is heated, everybody's waiting to hear that particular person's speaking, right? The essence is that the person over time has demonstrated a certain capacity to influence and change the conversation. So as a speaker or as a member of the General Assembly or the Parliament, what do you add to the conversation? And that is how you enrich your conversation. Indeed, we have 275 members of Parliament in Ghana. But how many of them do you hear? Oh, I'm lying. But have you heard your MP speaking in Parliament before? I'm sure if we should do a survey, a number of us may not have heard our MP speak or made a contribution on the floor of Parliament. But yes, that's the essence of the conversation. So when you belong to a body, you need to identify a space. And I'm not saying, you see, all the fingers are not equal. Maybe your challenge will not be how to communicate effectively. But you need to also understand that somebody's strength is the ability to come and organize this space so that the meeting will be successful. Somebody's strength is to make sure that General Assembly members will have what to eat. Somebody's strength is the ability to prepare, like the clerk, and make sure that there's a successful meeting. It doesn't necessarily mean that the speaker is more important than that person. Everybody here is important based on what you bring to the table. So you don't have to come and speak the big grammar, rapashmo, and all those words before you become excellent. You can identify something and say that, as for this one, when it comes to me, this is what I'm known for. So when you are talking about timetable, maybe you have specialized in timetable. Let it be understood that when it comes to this particular subject matter, I am the person who handles that space. I'm the one who has gained a certain authority to discuss that particular subject matter. So please identify specific areas. If you cannot, generally look at everything. Then again, back to the conversation about management relationship. You need to develop relationship with management. So in 2016, I lost the presidency of PUSAC. What was it, 2015? Yeah, 2015. I lost the presidency of PUSAC. I mean, I had been a manager. I had played extensive role in PUSAC. The president of PUSAC at the time was a person I managed. In fact, now he's an MP. He's called Mohammed Adam Suparu, the MP for Sisala West. He was the PUSAC president at the time. So I had managed him, and I was going to run for NUC's coordinating secretary. He said, no, Jay, the way you have worked in PUSAC, you cannot go and run for NUC's. And those times, PUSAC and NUC's, there's a friction. If you are in PUSAC, you can't get involved in NUC's. It is now that people have changed it and made it. You can't even get involved in USAG and those things. PUSAC was distinct. So he said, no, based on the role you have played in PUSAC, if you leave PUSAC and go and run for NUC's, it will be like a smack in the face of PUSAC, because it means that we are not relevant. So come and run for PUSAC. The long and short of it is that I lost the elections. Whatever contributed to it, it doesn't matter. I think that in life you need to also learn lessons that you don't always win. It is not every time that the best candidate wins an election, right? Sometimes other factors. But I became NUC's president because I lost PUSAC. Because if I had won PUSAC, I wouldn't have been president of the National Union of Ghana Students. And so 2019, 10th November, I was elected president of the National Union of Ghana Students. And I remember I had 200 votes flat. God has a way of making sure that anytime I'm winning an election, I have some 2 votes inside. I won by 32 votes. In my first election, I won by 52 votes. So yes, fast forward, just when I won the NUC's elections, I think I traveled out of the country, I came back, and there is COVID. You see, is there anybody here who lost somebody because of COVID? Is there anybody here who lost someone because of COVID? Thank God nobody lost somebody. Oh, you did? I'm so sorry. But COVID is not good, but COVID was good for me. Because it's COVID. Hello? Yes. COVID. Hello? Yes, because COVID actually made me very popular. COVID. Hello? Yes. So I think COVID actually made me very popular. COVID was putting me on TV, COVID was putting me on programs. There will be a conference and then they'll tell me, oh, you know what, Jay, this one, the president insists that we have to put you on it because it is you, he wants you on board. So I managed to get the president's attention even when we were not friends. Guys, do you understand? That is why I said preparation must meet opportunity. When you are standing somewhere and you're having a conversation, You don't know who is looking at you. So if you are here and you are in this parliament, you need to be worried and be concerned about what are people's impressions about you. Are you just a common floor member? Or, I mean, you are a relevant person that, you know, sometimes because of the agenda on the floor, depending on where you stand, some people will be staying outside and waiting for you to come before they will join the GA, because you are the one who can lead the charge, or better lead the conversation and put the heat on Madam Speaker. So your designation and what people know you for is very important. One of the best things that happened to me was when I was a NUCS president. There was a conversation about COVID-19 and our economy. And then early morning, I received a call from the senior minister, One Osafo Mafo. He said, "Young man, how are you? I'm calling you from the office of the senior minister. So there's a program, you need to come to my office right now." He said, "Young man, the president has spoken about you and I've had to go and look out for you. He insists that you have to be put on this program." How would you feel as a young man when you hear that this is what the president has told the senior most minister? You feel fulfilled, right? That day, I'm sure I had like 10 girls. That was just by the way. So yes, all I'm trying to say is that you need to be known for something, capacity. When you wake up, what content do you feel fit for yourself, and any other thing? All these things are very important. So then, of course, lastly, I would entreat to you all that when you leave the campuses of this place and you go out, you need to reflect Heritage University. When you go to PUSAG Senate, when you go to NUCS General Assembly, what is Heritage University known for? Are you just mere observers, so you come, we are all sitting down, we are watching, we are listening? Or when the issue is brought to the floor, I mean, we have impressions like that. When you are leading, or when you are in the chair, or when you are an agenda pusher, you know that students from University of Ghana, they are quite powerful. But you know what? During my time, we took a certain decision that the public universities sometimes are shishikwa. They don't know better than us. Oh yes. So we are not going to be intimidated by sometimes the loud noise. We all match each other boot for boot. Put the issues on the floor and we'll discuss it. Then the narrative changed. They say that, oh, Charlie, as for Methodist for the own agenda, as for this school, they are like that. As for this school, they are like that. And so I will entreat you, the conversation must move beyond the corridors of this auditorium. And then when you step out there, manifest and reflect your university, because it also adds to the image of your school. We are all ambassadors of the institution that we attended, right? So if you are from, I'm the second person from Methodist University to be Deputy National Youth Organizer of the NPP. And interestingly, the person who became the first Deputy National Youth Organizer from Methodist University was my protege, somebody that I brought in. Like one time we were going to General Assembly, he said, "Jay, what is this thing that you guys have been going to do?" I said, "Follow me, let's go." And then the person became the Deputy National Youth Organizer of the NPP. She became before me, even though I introduced her into the thing. There is a lesson in life about that as we sit here, there's no guarantee that as I sit here, I'll be better than you in life tomorrow. There's a possibility that today I'm the Deputy National Youth Organizer. Tomorrow you could be an MP. Tomorrow you could be a Chief Justice. Tomorrow you could be President. This life is not ladder that we are all climbing step by step. Somebody's time can just happen overnight. And so when we also meet in spaces like this, we need to learn to treat each other with respect, so that it is not difficult for you to reach out to someone when the need arises. So I've said it all, but I also want to end with one last thing, then the questions can come in. It is very easy for people like us who ends up in this particular auditorium like this to easily forget ourselves. There's a high probability that a number of you'll be having issues with school fees. There's a high probability that you'll be hungry. There's a high probability that you'll be having issues in your homes. It is normal. If you are SRC president and you haven't paid your fees or you have issues, it is normal. Except that the people who look up to you, they see you as a larger than life personality, so you cannot take those problems to them. You are even shy. Am I lying? Maybe the class rep. How can class rep not pay school fees? How come SRC treasurer? You understand what I mean? The reason why it is important for me to always re-echo this thing is that it has a tendency of putting pressure on you, and it can get you to do things that you ordinarily wouldn't do, and that can end your career before you even realize it. When I was SRC president of Methodist University, I think I was very popular on campus. I was very popular because people see me doing a lot of external stuff, but deep within I was broken. When I got to level 200, I was driving to school. I had a car. Then something happened in the house, and I think my dad sacked me from the house, and I lost everything. Then I'm the SRC president. I had all the fame, all the power, I had appointees. But I was sitting in class and I had not eaten from morning going to evening. I couldn't concentrate. I'll sit in the class and then I'll leave and go to my office. And I'm sitting there, Charlie, and I'm praying that evening will not come. Because if during the day I'm not getting food, then evening, how am I going to get it? Who am I going to talk to? Which of my colleagues? And I'm sitting in class, I'm profiling everybody. Which of these persons can I tell that I'm hungry? Which of these persons can I tell that me, the SRC president, I have not eaten since morning? I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who goes through this thing. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who wrote exams a number of times when I had not paid school fees. But you see, you need to know that you're on a certain journey. There's no guarantee that tomorrow you'll be a national officer like myself. But I want you to understand that whatever you have started, while you are sitting here doing SRC business, I'm sure your colleagues are probably studying and they are insulting you in their heads. I mean, it will pay off if you are convicted, if you have the right moral character and you have the right conviction. So I had not eaten. Exams, class was going on, then I'll leave and everything. Then as the day was going down, I'm realizing that my hope was coming down. And I was sitting in my office like this, and my eyes were just drooly like that. Who could have thought that a whole jihad is hungry? You know, those days I would have found some girlfriends at the cafeteria, so that Charlie, I grow, you are play, then you get the food for free. But this one, ego cannot make it happen. So yes, and then the power of believing in God in everything that you do is also important. I'm sharing life experience. So around 4 o'clock, I had given up. I said, let me just, there are days I felt like a prodigal son. I felt like, let me just call my daddy and say I'm sorry, so that all these woes will be over. But I also felt that I needed to prove a point to my dad, that asking me to go and stay on the streets and learn sense because he thinks I've been stubborn. I want to prove a point. And when you come to my house at Sakama, the street is named after my old man. It was a popular house. Jihad and all. I was hungry and I had given up. I was going to my hostel. That day, walk and come. Just when I stepped out, but I was crying within. Just when I stepped out of my office, the school's treasurer was passing in front of the door. He said, "Hey, Mr. Hyde, usikabi womi. Hallelujah." Charlie, at first, I didn't want to act surprised, because if I act surprised and I wasn't expecting money from them. If I act surprised and then the person changes his mind and said that, "Oh, I'm sorry, the money is not meant for you," that was the situation will get worse. I said, "Hey." So I kept quiet just to try and keep myself composed. And normally, if management before, you know that money from management, once you are in, you start, it take 1 month before. Except under this circumstance, the man said, "Oh, follow me." I mean, right now, I signed up, and I was given 360 CDs. My oh my. You know, and when I sat down to eat, tears started rolling from my eyes. But my biggest pain is that everybody saw me as that figure who was popular, who had everything, who everybody admired, but they didn't know I was weak and having my own challenges. I'm sharing this with you because it is very possible that a number of you will be going through the same experience. Whatever it is, you need to be careful not to lose yourself. You need to learn how to build contacts and connections. You need to learn how to have conversation, otherwise it can destroy you. So when I was going through that episode, I could have just gone out there and stood somewhere and says, "Oh, you need admission at Methodist University, bring the money, I'll do it." I mean, all kinds of things are likely to happen. I'm sure we don't have the whole day for this conversation, but I think from here I'll be a friend of your institution, and anytime you invite me, I'll come here. And so I don't know if I've touched on everything, but the rest, let's do questions. I don't want us to ask the questions. I want you to be comfortable. So write your question on the paper. Somebody should give us a basket or a bowl, and then we'll put it inside, and then we'll pick it, and then we'll respond to that. Yes. And I hope that the conversation is not going to be about NPP though. Even though if you ask me, I'm going to respond to it, but so, whilst the questions are being prepared, I also want to touch on one thing: how to build relationships and connections and networks. When I was running for Nook's presidency in 2019, I went to Natsford to go and campaign. Then when I went to campaign, I met this young woman who was the SRC local Nook's president at the time. Her name was Lynn Willis. I was campaigning to her that, you know what, please vote for me. Please let your school support me. I'll be a Nook's president. And she supported me wholeheartedly. Fast forward, we became friends. The following year, she expressed interest in running for a national position. Subsequently, she did again, and she won. When you meet people, try and draw your connections and your networks. You may never know where that help or relationship is going to manifest. And then also, like I always say, the person who is your subordinate today can be your boss tomorrow. And so relationship is very important. And whatever you take to do to manage it, please do. And in all, you also need a person like who can help you identify your talent. So please, can we have the questions? No, you can put a chair by me. I'll pick it. Oh, this one, they're like for TM small. How were you able to manage your studies and S-House president roles? Okay, this is always a good question for student leaders. There's no denying that student leadership takes a toll on your academics, right? Because while you are sitting here, your colleagues are probably sitting in the classroom. There's a tendency for people to think that, oh, once you're a student leader, you also don't have to graduate. Whatever you do, you have to graduate with your colleagues. Masa. And for our brabo on the chaskele. Whatever you do, make sure you graduate, because after the moment you leave here, your best friend will even become your your distance, because everybody is going to struggle for life. National service will be that trip on somebody is a Hamile, somebody is in Accra. Nobody, the person you used to talk to every day, the conversation changes to 3 days, 1 week. And then the realities of life sets in. So you need to know your type. I naturally don't learn much, but I think I do better with information. So I can at least, I won't fail. At least maybe I'll get it. I'll be okay. You understand? Those of you who are looking for the first class, you have to spend more time doing the books. But then I think the reality is that student leadership takes a toll on yourself, and so find something that works for you. Somebody has to put the head down and study for 3 hours in order to grab. Somebody just has to hear. Somebody just has to know. So just know what works for you, and I think that you'll be fine. Okay, so this person is asking, what do you do as a female in a leadership position who is constantly misunderstood and people feel intimidated by you? I love this. This is one beautiful thing I've read today. Yes, so you see, we live in a very masculine society where men think that they are superior to women, and where men feel that even if you meet a man who tries to create an impression that, oh, for me, I can accommodate women and everything, deep within in their innate self, they have this subtle thing. You meet a man who says, oh, me, I'm good with my kitchen, I can cook and everything, but when you go to his house and you're not cooking for him, look, he has a problem, he just cannot say it. Don't mind them. Women empowerment, we are in this together. But yes, I think that over time, in responding to this question, where men feel intimidated by you, I think keep being you. Over time, people will accept you for who you are. You don't have any business impressing on anyone. Just be focused. Eventually, they will accept within. As for this girl, she's like that. And they will even admire you for your personality. So long as, but I also advise that men have ego, so don't bruise the ego, don't insult, don't attack, stay within. One person I admire so much is Esle Owusu, because that woman is very, very knowledgeable. When she speaks, I mean, ordinarily where men thrive, she does it in a very impressive manner without any issue. So don't be intimidated by a man. Be focused and deliver without having to attack or, sending the wrong signals. You'll be good. Just keep focused. So this question says that Yes. That's excellent. Lynn, I think that you can. Please, why don't you come and sit here? This is fine. Yes. On the question of, let me read the question again. How do you? So when she was the NUC's Secretary for Finance, she was one of only 2 women or 3 women among 10 men. 3 women among 10 men, with a long list of appointees who think that a woman controlling the money is a problem. Men think that when you give money to a woman to control, then you're in trouble. So she should tell us, what do you do as a female in leadership position who is constantly misunderstood and people feel intimidated by you? How would you respond? How did you deal with it?
Okay, I think my big brother has said majority of the solution. So you have to still keep being you. You should keep being you without shouting. Naturally, you appear like you're shouting. Okay, so once you have content, as he rightly mentioned about Esle Owusu, they won't see you as being bossy. I mean, with time, they will get to love you the way you are. You can't be among men and not be relevant. if you are being bossy, that is what you are known for. That is the disciplinary nature you are known for. And if it is not a shouting type, I think you should keep doing that. Yeah.
Thank you. So this person wants to know, was it your dream to become a politician? And what would be your best career? Is it advice? Something? What do you say? Career what?
Yes, advice for us.
For us, okay. All right. Do I want to be a politician? No, I never wanted to be a politician. I think I had wanted to be a Roman father. So now my nickname is Roman Father. My friends who knew me call me Roman Father. I'd always wanted to be a Roman Father until I ended up in the university and something happened. And then I told myself, I'm not going to be a Roman Father again. No. As for that, it's a message for some other time. But I didn't want to be a politician. But situations led me to this level. And even when I was due to be made Deputy National Youth Organizer of the NPP, I didn't want to be, I think I have something to contribute to politics, but I didn't want to be a mainstream politician. But one thing is also that I am a person who is open for challenges. I want to be known as a guy who, no matter the challenge you present to me, I'll figure out a way to deal with it. So that is what I wanted to be known for. But I didn't want to be a politician. However, you also recognize that politics defines everything in our society. The politician determines how much you pay your fees, how much you buy your clothes, how much you pay for electricity, how much you pay for food. And so if the right people do not get to do politics, then it means that majority of the people will suffer. And so let us not say politics is about thee versus us. It's about us. And so the question then changes to, how do we get the right people to do politics? Because if the right people does politics, majority people will benefit. What would be your best career advice for us? Career. I think that I have always maintained that no matter what you do, make sure you have a certificate. Okay? So even if you want to be a footballer, have a degree. Even if you want to do cosmetics, cosmetology, hairdresser, just have a degree, have a certificate and put it somewhere. With time, you will get in handy, because the changing face of our world requires that at every point in time, certification and standardization gives leverage to people who has it. Some time ago, only rich people get to have certain opportunities, right? Only men who were privileged, sons of chiefs and kings, were given certain privileges. And then the world changed and said that we should create an equal platform. There was a time when only men vote. Then the world changed and said that women should now also be allowed to vote. Today we are where we are because of standardization. Once you have a degree and I have a degree, it doesn't matter whether you are fair or black. It doesn't matter whether you are from Hamile or Ketu. It doesn't matter whether you are rich or poor. It means that we are at a certain level. So whatever you do, just make sure you have a certificate. With time, that will get in handy. Right. Sorry. So this person, what was your challenges as a NUCS president? Oh dear. NUCS president. I don't want to remember. So in 2020, I was a NUCS president that led us into the elections. And you know, NUCS is very political. One of the biggest challenges I face is the politicization. Sometimes I'll be asleep. By the time I wake up, one caucus in my executives has issued a statement. Whether I know something about it or I don't know, I have to go and deal with it. You'll be asleep. Then NUCS has issued a statement, maybe insulting the government or say something. If I go out and I present a picture that, like, I don't know anything about the statement, it tells the world that NUCS is weak. It means that my association is weak. It means that there's a leadership crisis. You understand? In another breath, I also don't know anything about the statement. The third angle is also that my party people are going to say that this guy, we can't trust him. He's an NDC boy. They've paid him. If you were me, what would you do? I think that once the statement has gone out, I am as good as the image of the union. I'd rather people think that Nooks is powerful than for me to please my political masters, right? Than for them to believe that I am a weak president. So when the statement goes out in the morning, I'll come and I'll talk about the issues. For instance, one time, let me cite one specific example. I was asleep, I woke up, student loan hasn't been paid, and Nooks has given ultimatum to government. They are giving you 14 days. If you don't give us the student's loan, we'll hit the streets. Most of the time, my avenue is that I'll go behind and go and see the finance minister or whoever, and I'll negotiate and make sure that before the time will come, the problem is solved. So I don't have to dirty myself for the solution to come. I'll negotiate behind the scenes and find results. At the end of the day, we want solution. It doesn't matter the form or the substance. And then this time around, a statement has gone out 14 days. And I had people from Jubilee and all kinds of people. Hey, in COVID, government doesn't have money. You are threatening us. You betrayed us. You are NDC, you've been bought and everything. I'll go on radio and I'll speak to the matter. And I'll shift the conversation from my opponents to me. You understand? They issued a statement to put me in a tight corner for them to also get their attention. I do not have a problem. I'll go to the station. I'll go and speak to the matter and own up the conversation. So the next time, if the journalist wants questions or answers about the ultimatum, it is me they will come. So once the news is within my domain, I determine what should be said out there. In between this period, I'm finding solutions, I'm engaging, I'm doing this. Let me cite an example. Yesterday, there was an issue about nursing training allowances which hasn't been paid for... wait, am I on camera? Okay, that's fine. So, some of the issues are sensitive, so we'll generalize it. So, yes, we had promised that nursing training allowances would have to be paid. And the nursing students had come to me as a former student leader that, could you intervene because we haven't received for some months our training allowances. I said, okay, what do we do? Let's engage. Within the shortest possible time, we go a meeting with the Minister of Health. Let's discuss what are the issues, what are the parameters. So even before the issue becomes a problem, a solution had been achieved. So nobody has to go and shout your boy, nobody has to. At the end of the day, we want solution. All right, so I think that best answers this particular issue. What's the best decision you've ever made in this journey? Likewise, the worst decision you have been forced to make. The worst one, I wish I could say it, but not on camera. So I can't say it. Unless I have to lie. Say it? The person can see me in chambers so that I can respond to that. But, okay, I don't think I can compromise on that. What's the best decision I've made? The best decision I've made is to believe in God. Yeah, I think I've been beneficiary of certain things that I didn't work for, and it can only be grace, because I've been on platforms with people who I think are better deserving in certain things and I still get it. It can only be grace. So yes, I think the God aspect works for me. How do you balance your emotions in your role as a student leader? That's also a very important question. Emotions, you are human. Sometimes you lose it. Sometimes there are certain things you can't always control, but it is not what happens or your reaction that matters. It's what happens after the action that gives an image of yourself. Once in a while you lose yourself. Once in a while certain things will happen that would get you questioning, or people questioning your level of integrity. You are a human being. You are not a plywood, neither are you a firewood. But as much as possible, as a leader, you need to also know that a lot of people are looking up to you, and so you have to be very composed and control your senses and your emotions, because it is not everybody too that can contain your nonsense. One time you lose it, and before you realize, somebody will slap you, and then you've lost the fight, and you can't fight. So emotional intelligence is very important in this enterprise. If you see there's somebody in this house who is always on top of you, who is always creating a problem for you, if you are the ex-house president, if you are the speaker, make that person your friend. So if the person has to say 5, the person reduces to 2 or 3 because of you. But if you think that you raise your voice, then it means that fire, you will not achieve anything. And then our last question. How did you switch from doing chaplaincy stuff to politics? I have never done chaplaincy stuff. I have never done chaplaincy stuff. I'm not a crip. I was just an innocent young boy in my early stages. When I was in level 100 to 200, I was very innocent. When I even see the boys holding the hands of the ladies, I found it wrong. But then, at some point in time, Charlie, the street will humble you. You know, you get to understand that these are all parts of life. You can do some of these things without losing yourself. So as I sit here, I have never taken alcohol, not even palm wine. I mean, I don't smoke, but I club a lot because I find respite. That's the only place I can be without me feeling like, hey, you're a politician, somebody's watching you, so just you have to manage. I mean, when I'm in a club, I mean, everybody's dance. I won't dance, but at least I tend to think that I'm still a young boy. Now, when I walk and I'm in town, I have to act like me a papa paying because Charlie, you know, like that kind of thing. So yes, this is what we are made up of. And thank you for all your questions. I don't know if I've been able to do justice with it, but I've loved being here, and I'll definitely come again given a chance. God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Honorable is right, to address you as honorable.
No, honorable is not. Honorable makes me feel like an old man.
But we have to address you with the right title, reason I asked. So thank you so much for this very impactful conversation that you had with us. I, for one, I'm so grateful for honoring our invitation. We thank you so much. As you said that from now onwards, you'll be a friend to our noble institution. We thank you so much for that promise, and we look forward to a long-lasting relationship with you. Okay, but before we let you go, I've forgotten the name. Lynn Willis, right? She wants to tell us something. She wants to add up to what Honorable said. So.
Thank you. So it's a very short one. He spoke about mentorship, getting the right links, and engagement. So as he rightly said, I met him in 2019 after he campaigned to me to vote for him. Before that, his opponent was my lecturer, and the other opponent I was going to vote for was a friend, but I ended up going for him. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. He's been a mentor. He's that busy, but I know how to engage him in the shortest possible time, get all that I need, all that I need to pursue whatever I want to do. The little time you get with whoever you want to be like, I think you should be able to grasp a lot. So here I am. After 5 years, I'm an outgoing executive. It didn't happen just by sitting down, okay, I've met someone, okay, thank you so much, bye-bye. But I pursued. As student leaders, we shouldn't just focus on internal affairs. We go external and meet people, do the right connections. I mean, as we are here, we should be able to do national service posting for people. You shouldn't wait for an MP to do those things. They are basic things some people who are out there can do. But if you make the right connections, I think before you are done with your your fourth year, you should be able to even do for yourself and do for your colleagues that are seated in their classrooms learning, but you are here arguing on points that should change the school or change the status quo of wherever you are. So this is just something small I want to add, that the little opportunity you get with any mentor or anybody you see yourself being like, you should be able to grab a lot, learn from a distance, and you'll be good to go. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. That was a very good addition. I don't know if Honorable have any closing remarks to give us. We'll be happy to have him say it then. Yeah.
I think that it's all been said, except Madam Speaker has. I need to put Madam Speaker on a point of order. She's still calling me Honorable. Honorable, dear, and your guy. I mean, Charlie, I'm a Rasta man, like, you forgive me, like, you know, I'm a youth organizer, so normally you call me Commander, but anyway, we take it like that. How? So, heritage. I think that your school should throw a challenge to yourself, maybe for you to own the national conversation. Think about raising candidates for NUCS, USAC, and then PUSAC. It's very important. It helps you build confidence as an institution, and it makes you make your name out there. I think that's a challenge to you. If would be, I want to help your institution with 5 slots on scholarship. So this is how we're going to do it. Once and I mean, this is to the General Assembly, and it has to be because you're also Ghanaians, right? So you're as deserving as any other person. I'm not doing this because I'm a politician. I'm doing it because I'm a man of influence, because I'm a former NUCS president. So I should be able to go to get fund and say that these are students of Heritage University, and I think that they're equally Ghanaians, and they are very hardworking and committed to the cause of Ghana. So you should give 5 scholarships to them, and that's what I'm going to do. Yes. I'll be liaising with Mr. Jose. As soon as the scholarship window opens, the General Assembly would have to provide me 5 names of applicants and then consider it done. What other thing? I mean, the rest I leave it to you. Let's build our friendship, let's build our connections and our networks. And then, of course, when I see you, you call me J. Hyde, and I'll also respond to your name. Maybe for now, I'll call you Heritage. God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. The scholarship was actually a surprise to us. We appreciate it, and we can't wait to start enjoying it already. Okay, we've asked all the questions. We had a very good interaction with our guest. Personally, before he spoke about the scholarship, which I don't know of, I wanted to appeal to his humble office that should he get the opportunity that he could help a community that he is not a part of that constituency, he should consider us. Especially, we have a particular problem or a particular challenge as students where we can't go out in the night because we have guys around who attack us. So for me, I thought that if you get more street lights, that the place is a bit brighter, they wouldn't try to attack us in the dark, because mostly these ones are done in the dark. But our authorities, our management and school administration is trying to address the issue. But we want to ask that if you get the opportunity to equally contribute to this challenge that we have, we plead that you should please do that for us. Thank you very much. If you want.
Okay. So, yes, I think this is a specific request. This place falls within Amasaman, isn't it? Ganot. So, Clemens is the MC. Yeah, Moses' name is the MP. Yes, so, all right. I think I'll give you guys some street lights. I'll give you guys some street lights. Okay. So next week I'll make street lights available through my bus. Yes. But while at it, I'm speaking from the student angle of me. But you need to also understand that no government is perfect, and it is in the interest of every leader to serve his people and serve them well by making sure that they have the best of everything. But while we do so, we are human beings and we are fallible, so we won't always get it right. When we get it wrong, please bear with us. And also understand that there's never been a government that has been more committed to the cause of Ghana like Akufo-Addo's government. I say this because I'm an example. Maybe we haven't heard the story of how much free SHS has impacted the lives of certain people. I'm always passionate about opportunity to shine. I don't do politics like any other ordinary politician, but I know what it would have been for the children of Asham and Choko and other places to have an opportunity like myself. The people we see on the streets, we are no better than them. It's just that we have what the others don't have. And so, for anybody who has been a beneficiary of a certain government intervention, whether free SHS or whatever, it may not be so popular because it has created an inconvenience for somebody, but that inconvenience is the price we pay for making sure that their colleagues who otherwise would have ended up on the street is also in the classroom. And for everybody who has been in this classroom or has been a degree holder of Heritage University, the end game is that maybe when you are done, you have a degree, and because you have a degree, you'll be able to work in a certain organization that will pay you thousands of Ghana cedis. Your colleague who couldn't go to school will end up on the streets. When you earn thousands of Ghana cedis, you have the capacity to build a mansion and live a comfortable life. But you don't have your peace of mind because you didn't ensure that the other person ends up in the classroom. That person will be a threat to your peaceful living, because if he becomes an armed robber, he becomes a thief, he would make sure that whatever you have, you will get it in a different way. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Yes, please. Thank you very much. He's asking for his leave. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for coming. Yes, of course. We asked the camera guys to come around. No, you cannot go like that. I'll definitely meet you. Okay, honorable members, we'll go on recess shortly. We'll have looking at the time, I don't know if we still want to have the debate or not, but we cannot have it whilst our visitor is around. We need to take pictures with him as well. If you want to connect with him briefly, maybe you get the opportunity, please do, as he said. Connections and interactions are very important. So please, let's move out. Have very nice pictures. Please smile when you are taking the pictures. Very important. We'll be posting it. Yes. Please smile. Those who don't smile, please smile. Okay.
You are who you are. Yesterday, today, and forevermore. What you say is what
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And he has made from one blood every nation of men to dwell on all the face of the earth, so that they should seek the Lord, though he is not far from each one of us.
God's grace overrules his own justice.
That is religion by divine accomplishment.
Justice says I should be punished for doing what is wrong.
But I have mercy upon you. And so I brought my only son Jesus to die on your behalf. It is accomplished.
As we observe the universe, the earth, and the amazing human body, it is easy to conclude that these things could not have occurred by accident. They are, in fact, the product of an intelligent creator. But what kind of creator? What do we really know about him? Does he really care about his creation? What is he like? Can we know him?
The Sun is by far the largest object in the solar system. The Sun is approximately 10 times wider than Jupiter and over 100 times wider than Earth. Its volume could contain around 1 million Earths.
Sikhs believe in God as the one supreme reality. He is known as Ik Onkar. Sikhs pray through hymns and meditation. Sikhism teaches selfless service. Its practices are similar to Hindus and Islam's. Buddhism, 376 million adherents. According to Buddhist tradition, Buddha was born in Lumbini, now a part of Nepal. 6. African traditional religion, 100 million adherents. There are many traditional religions practiced by African people. However, they share the same general concept. They believe in a supreme creator, spirits, ancestors, veneration, and magic.
Translating the Bible into English was no simple task. Behind the book is a dark and deadly story of subversion, smuggling, imprisonment, and murder.